It is nice to be liked, Ivan. It is, in fact, in our nature that we want to belong, we want to have this sense of acceptance from others. And it'd be awesome to be liked and respected as a leader, but more often it's not the case. And if one had to choose, I would say it's better to be respected than liked. And we hear people saying this a lot. Don't be liked, be respected. But I think it has different meaning depending on kind of your perception and the context, right? So there are leaders who use it as an excuse to just be rude and be a bad leader. And that's not the aim here. So from our side, what it really means is that sometimes you have to do things that people might not like. And if you truly believe it's the best course of action, you cannot worry about being disliked as a result of your decision. Right. So, and we've seen many young managers grew fast in their careers and then took over high positions in their companies. And then that's where the struggles begins, because it's not easy thing to do. Once you were a colleague with somebody, now this colleague is reporting to you, and you have to make certain decisions that may not be, something they agree with or something they like, but you now have access to more information than them. So you make decisions based on what you feel is best. And that can cause friction and interpersonal conflicts in the workplace. And on top of that, if you're the kind of leader who is transformational and looking to really create change, that's another thing that is going to make people feel uncomfortable, unfortunately. And again, you will not always be liked. But part of your role as a leader is to push people to reach their potential. And I think that's important, that it's your job to inspire them, right? And to give them a little bit of a nudge. And more often than not, we all need that nudge. We need to be pushed a little bit because it pushes us out of our comfort zone and truly allows us to see what is it that we're capable of. So a couple of reminders as we think about this topic of, do you need to be liked or respected? And we're leaning more like, yes, I think it's better to be respected. Remember that with great power, as the saying goes, comes great responsibility, which often involves having to make difficult decisions and have uncomfortable conversations. Be curious is really essential as well. Really try to understand others' people's point of view without taking it personally. And finally, most importantly, respect is earned over time. Availability leads to reliability, leads to credibility, and ultimately that is how trust happens. And so again, availability leads to credibility, reliability, leads to credibility and ultimately trust. And that is what we're trying to get at as leaders, is to have this pathway that ultimately leads to people trusting us. Because by default, if people trust us, that means they respect our decisions and they go full on with our leadership. Hi guys, Elena here from Western. If you're enjoying this episode, please make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on weekly new videos that we have coming out on personal and professional development topics. Also, feel free to send your questions and engage with us and comment in the YouTube videos in the comment section below. Now back to the episode.
I love, Elena, this transition, this highlight about trust. And let me expand a little bit more about this topic. So if we go by the dictionary, the definition of being respected is a feeling of appreciating something or someone who is good or valuable. This definition is super close to the one about trust. In trust, we add the dimension of reliability and honesty. We get usually liked because we have similarities, but we get respected because we add value to people. And we get trusted because we do it with fairness and we do it with consistency. So I would advise, go rebel and go for trust. It is the Valhalla of impact on people. When employees are in an environment of trust, they get 50% more productive, 2 times more energy at work, 74% less stress, which prevents stress, in fact, prevents creativity and productivity. So if we think about it, Elena, when we are watching, YouTube videos, we like babies and funny cats. As an effect, we have emotions like smiling. We get a quick shot of dopamine that lasts a couple of seconds. When somebody does something for us that we value, like making us feel appreciated, encouraging us to learn something new, helping us in our careers, Well, all this means simply helping people getting out of their comfort zone. This doesn't produce this quick dopamine that I mentioned about laughing about cats or babies. It wouldn't generate immediate happiness, but it would generate another molecule, the oxytocin. This is the trust hormones. And when there is trust, then we have the impact about the energy, productivity, less stress, more creativity, you name it. Remember, liking has a temporary effect. Respect and trust have long-term effects. Finally, just some quick habits that seems that it works from time to time that I wanted to mention. So imagine that you have the possibility to every day provide feedback to someone in the form of just 5 minutes. Make it super short. Just one person for 5 minutes every day to give them feedback for good and the less good stuff. And do it personally. That means in a one-to-one setup, it doesn't have to be with other people. It shouldn't be with other people, especially if you're giving a recommendation to improve. Every week, this is my second one, every week recognize the work of someone of your team in front of others. Ovation is super important in order to generate an environment of trust. The third one would be whenever you are discussing about work objectives, make it inspirational. It's not a task that you're giving. It is a mission that has impact on people. Let people decide how they will manage the task. Ask your team the right challenging questions. How can we do it better, faster, more awesome? This produces the good type of stress, a challenge that is worth because it is made together with the team. That's it for the 3 tips that I wanted to give, Elena.